So hello everybody and welcome to the first video of our channel and of the series of learning Mongo database. Welcome to Lone Byte. Ever wondered where all your data which you use on your Instagram, Facebook and other applications are being stored? Yes, they are being stored in a database and databases are of multiple types. So MongoDB is one of the databases. It is one of the NoSQL databases, which is not only SQL. We'll be taking a deep dive into it in our whole series. This is going to be our first video of a series. We'll be discussing about what databases are, what are the types of databases, what MongoDB is, how data is stored in it, and we'll be going through the process of installation of MongoDB on Windows. So, what are databases? So, database is a place where you store, organize, and manage data so that it can be easily accessed and used later. You can take it as a digital library which stores your data in a format in which it could be accessed easily and whenever you want it. There are many popular databases which we use like MySQL, Postgres, and MongoDB is also one of the databases. Then what are the things which separates any other database from MongoDB, or what is different between MySQL and MongoDB in specific? For this, we would need to deep dive into the concepts of different types of databases. So, databases could be, in very simple terms, classified in two different types. One is SQL, the other one is NoSQL. So, SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and NoSQL stands for Not Only Structured Query Language. So, SQL is query language which we use with relational databases, and NoSQL is simply used for non-relational databases. In the relational databases where we use SQL, the data structures are very strictly in form of tables, in form of rows and columns. We have fields in them. So all the columns are specified with certain data type which we could enter into them, and all those rows contains the data for the specific instance. The schema, which means the shape or the structure in which the data is stored, is fixed for SQL or relational databases. So the NoSQL, on the other hand, is in a form of document which stores key value pairs. So these documents are mostly stored in form of JSON-like documents, which we'll be exploring later. The schema of NoSQL or non-relational databases are flexible because they allow you not to have the same fields in every collection or in every document, which gives you the facility of having different type of information stored for every other instance. Now, let's come to MongoDB. So, MongoDB is an example of NoSQL database. It stores data in a flexible format, which we earlier mentioned about being JSON-like format. So, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notion, which is a format in which we use key and value pairs to store our data. So, MongoDB is basically an unstructured form of database. Again, keep in mind, we are not talking about unorganized, we are talking about unstructured. MongoDB is also a database. It is an organized collection of data, but it is unstructured, and it is very useful when we use data or when we play with data which is constantly changing. This could be seen in a lot of real world apps like Instagram, Facebook, or other IoT applications too. Now, let's discuss about the structure of a Mongo database, or how is data stored in it. So, Mongo database have the basic units of documents which are grouped into collections, which these both documents and collections are similar to rows and tables in SQL. So what we could consider is there is a database. Under the database, we could have multiple collections, and within those collections, we could have multiple documents. Each document is like a JSON object. It stores our data in key value pairs, and different documents in the same collection can have different structures, which we discussed earlier, and this reciprocates to the property of flexibility in Mongo database. This diagram clarifies a lot of things about the structure of MongoDB. So at the head, we could have a database. Under the database, we have a lot of collections. And within those collections, we have documents. Those documents stores our data in key value pairs, which is in JSON format. Now, this is an example of how the data is stored within a document in JSON format. We could see here we have ID, name, and age. These are the keys. Whereas we have the object ID, which has a certain number which is generated for each and every document which we create. We have Alice as the value for name. We have 30 as the value for age. What we could also see is we have a Boolean form of data, which is student false. We have a list form of data, which is courses, which are history and math. We have a dictionary form of data, which is address, which is given in street, city, and zip code. Now, let's move on to in the installation process of MongoDB on a Windows platform. So, now we'll be installing MongoDB. For that, what we will use is we'll go on Chrome and we'll search for MongoDB. We would have a first link over here, which is the MongoDB. We would click on it and we'll wait for the main page to load. Under here, under the products tab, we would have a community edition, the self-managed. The community edition is a free edition which we use for querying in MongoDB and learning it. We would go for download community. It says try MongoDB community edition. We would scroll down and we would find the MongoDB community server download. From here, we have automatically chosen the current version. We are downloading on the Windows platform and we are using the Microsoft installer package. We click download, and while all of it gets downloaded, we'll come into tools, and under the tools section we would have MongoDB Shell. This is another thing which we need to get downloaded. So we have the MongoDB Shell download, we have the latest version, and we will be choosing our package as MSI, and we'll be clicking download again. So once you have got both of them installed, we'll be running a MongoDB installer. Now we'll be clicking on next. We would accept the license agreement terms, go next, and usually the complete downloads all the required things, all the things which we include comes with MongoDB Community Edition. It is generally large in space, but for now we would go with custom and we would select our server and we'll click next. So we would download it as a service so that we don't need to start it again and again. It automatically gets started as the system starts. We're clicking next, and this is an important part where we tick the install MongoDB compass with it. We'll click next again and we'll click on install. So this is our MongoDB compass. It has been installed, and now we would be going on to install the Mongo shell. We'll click on next, and then install. We'll click on finish. So now we have a MongoDB compass installed, and we are going to start by adding a new connection. By default, we have the local host, which has the port of 27017. We would save and connect to it. And what we could see here are a few of the default databases, which is the admin, config, and local. So now we would go on to go for Windows. We'll type in CMD. This will give us a command prompt. And to access our MongoDB shell, we are going to type in mongo sh. Well, this shows us that our connection is done with the server. Now we are going to see what databases we have already, which are the default databases we saw in the compass. So to see our databases, we'll use the command show dbs. Dbs is databases. So here we can see admin, config, and local. To select any one of these databases, we would use the command of use, which is use admin. So over here it gives us the confirmation that we have switched to DB admin. Let's check if we have any collections in this database. So we would go for show collections. So we have one collection which is system.version. So what we did, we started off connected to Mongo Shell. We connected to our local host, which is 27017 port. Then we use the command of show dbs to see our databases which we already have by default. We'd use the use command to access the admin database. With when we switch to admin db admin, we use the command of show collections to see the available collections in the database. So this was it for the first session, and our topics for the next video are going to be scaling in databases, basic queries in MongoDB Shell, and we would also be exploring what MongoDB Atlas is. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and if you have come far to this point and if you have liked the video, then please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.